speech within 23rd. 23rd means tomorrow is the last date. So tomorrow we must, submit it. 24th morning I will open that Gmail inbox, and there I will see that how many of you had submitted. Okay, so up to 24th morning I will check that how many of you have submitted. Okay, so we had completed these. We had completed, earlier on the face of it. So today let us start the last chapter from Vistas, that is Evans Tries O Level by Colin Dexter. Evans Tries O Level is one of the most interesting chapters that we are having in class 12, and I really like this chapter because it's a thriller type story. Why not? Because the writer Colin Dexter was an English writer, and he was famous for writing thriller stories, the detective stories. And here this story is something like this. Now let me tell you about the title. What is it? Evans is. I will not. Discuss these. I will not discuss means I will not tell the story in a nutshell. Because this will kill the charm of that story. So we will have to wait so that the interest lingers, and I don't want that it should finish. It should linger towards the end of that story. Now, title actually Evans. Evans is the protagonist of that story, the main character. His name is Roderick Evans, James Roderick Evans, and O level is a German examination. So James Roderick Evans is a criminal, and he has been confined in Oxford jail. Now, though he was a criminal and he was confined in the jail, he wants to appear in O-level examination. And he requested the governor of the jail. Governor of the jail means the chief of the jail, the jailer, that to make all the arrangements so that he could appear in O-level examination. Now, Evans earlier had escaped from the jail for 3 times. So he was popularly known as Evans the Break, because he had broken, the jail he had broken jail for 3 times earlier. Now, when the story will open, we will see that the governor of the jail, Oxford jail, where Evans was kept, where Evans was confined. He had called the secretary of the examination board, and who had called the secretary of examination board, and he was asking permission from the examination board so that he could make the arrangement for Evans, who was a criminal and confined in the jail, so that Evans could appear in O-level examination. Now, we know that there is rule in each and every country that we cannot deprive education for anything. Even if a criminal, even if a patient, even if a criminal confined in jail, even if a patient admitted in hospital, if they wish to appear in any examination, then we cannot deny. If he is having that criteria to appear in that examination, that we cannot deny this. Actually, law does not allow this. So here also, Evans, according to these, that Evans wanted to appear in O-level examination because he wanted to get some educational qualification. But the story is, does he really want to enhance his educational qualification, or does he want to use this examination as another means to escape from jail? We will find out as soon as we will read the story and explain it. Before that, we are having some dramatis persona here, so let me read. Let us start from before you read. Before you read, one sentence is there that should criminals in prison be given the opportunity of learning and education? The answer should be yes, because actually law is there, but we cannot deprive anyone for getting education, for acquiring education and learning. Now, dramatis persona, the secretary of the examination boards, that the characters that we will come across in that story. The secretary of the examination board. Next, the governor of HM prison, Oxford. HM prison, Oxford. In that prison, Evans is confined as a criminal. James Evans, a prisoner, he is the main character of this story. James Evans. Not only that, the title also goes with his name. Evans tries all over. James Evans. Mr. Jackson, a prison officer. Mr. Jackson is a senior prison officer, and he plays a vital role in the precautions, in the arrangement of examination in the jail for Evans. Mr. Stephens, a prison officer. Mr. Stephens is a junior prison officer. Few months he had been appointed in his job. He is a junior prison officer, Mr. Stephens. The Reverend S. McCleary, an invigilator. Now, Reverend means respected. S. McCleary is the bishop of local charge, and he had been appointed as an invigilator to invigil Evans when he would start the examination. In that on that examination day, so he would be the invigilator. The Reverend means respected S. McCleary. Mr. Carter, detective superintendent. I told that this story is having some, this story is all about that crime thriller. So crime means in that sense that we may not find in the story that murder and killing and all this, but this is also a thrilling story, a thriller. And here in that thrilling story, we should have the detective and all this, detective, police, all these will be there. And here a detective superintendent, Mr. Carter. Mr. Bell, detective chief inspector. Mr. Bale is another inspector. So these are the dramatic personas that we will come across whenever we will read and explain the story. Now, all precautions have been taken to see to it that the O-level German examination arranged in the prison for Evans does not provide him with any means of escape. So that's the main concern for the governor of the prison. Governor means the chief of the prison, the jailer, chief of the of the jail, of the prison, that Evans, who had escaped thrice earlier from jail, he would not get any chance this time to escape from jail, because it's a great challenge for the governor as well to keep Evans in the jail and cut down all his plan. Probably the governor also had lots of doubt in his mind. Probably this appearing in the examination is another plan for escaping from jail. What would happen, we don't know. I don't want to tell anything, because as I told, this will kill the interest. So we will go read and explain the text. Read and find out. Two questions over there. What kind of a person was Evans? Now, generally, if a person is confined into jail, if a person is confined as criminal, then what should be our general thinking? That the man must be, ferocious. He might be a, murderer. He might be thief. He might be dacoit. Something else who had done heinous crime, and that is why he had been confined in jail. But as we will find out, Evans was not some kind of person. He was gentle. He is very skillful. But the main thing is that he is out and out intelligent. He's a master planner as well. What were the precautions taken for the smooth conduct of the examination? This is very important, because every now and then, this question comes in examination. That what are the precautions that had been taken for the smooth conduct of O-level examination for Evans in HM prison, Oxford? We will see what type of precautions had been taken. And another important question that comes, that what are the loopholes, what are the faults in the plan or in the precautions that had been taken in the jail for conducting this O-level examination? We will find out all. So let me start reading. See, this is thing that when, as I told that Evans, though in that story we will not find that why Evans had been confined in the jail. Only it has been stated by the governor of the jail that he was a congenital kleptomaniac. And congenital means by birth. Kleptomaniac means a tendency of stealing something. Now, it's one kind of disease that people steal out of habit, though he may not need the thing, but still he cannot, he cannot but stealing. He cannot restrict himself from stealing other things. This is kleptomaniac. Evans was something, a congenital kleptomaniac. So open at page number 70, Vistas. We are starting Evans tries O level. This is the last chapter from Vistas. It was in early March when the secretary of the examination board received the call from Oxford prison. So Oxford prison, the governor of Oxford prison, he had called secretary of the examination board, O-level examination board. They have already discussed between them, and now actually what the secretary is telling. It's a slightly unusual request, Governor, but I don't see why we shouldn't we shouldn't try to help. Just the one fellow, you say? Means the governor of jail, he had already intimated the whole matter to the secretary of the examination board, and now the secretary of the examination board told this to the governor that it's a slight unusual request. Yes, it's very slight unusual request. Every time, every year, no such request come from jails. But this time, the governor, the secretary of the examination board, he received such a request from the jail. But I don't see why we shouldn't try to help. But the secretary told the governor, but secretary from examination board, governor is the chief of that jail. So the secretary told the governor that I don't see why we shouldn't try to help. And the secretary told that I don't find any means that why we should not try to help. Miss Secretary told yes, we should help Evans. Just one fellow, you say, and the secretary again asked this to the governor to be sure that you told just one fellow. That's it. Chap called Evans started night classes in O-level examination last September. Says he is dead keen to get some sort of academic qualification. That governor intimated this, informed this to the secretary of the examination board. That yes, that's it. Means yes, that's it. Only one, chap, one candidate. Chap called Evans. Chap means fellow. His name is Evans. Started night classes in O-level German last September. Means the governor of HM Prison Oxford, he had already arranged private tuition for Evans so that he could appear or he could prepare for O-level examination, and that the governor of the jail had intimated to the secretary of the examination board that started night classes from the month of September. And he says he is dead keen to get some sort of academic qualification. Dead keen means he was extremely interested, he was extremely intended to get some academic qualification, and that is the reason that Evans, governor told this to the secretary, that is the reason that Evans implored him to arrange all these for him so that he could appear in the examination. Is he any good? The secretary is asking this to the governor. Is he any good? As I told that usually it comes that when a criminal is confined in the jail, what would be the general notion about about him? He must not be honest. He must be very ferocious. He's a criminal, something like this. So here also the secretary asked this to the governor that is he any good? He was the only one in the class, so you can't say he has had individual tuition all the time, really. Another thing that the governor wanted to ask, the secretary wanted to ask whether he is a good student. Is he brilliant in his studies or in his preparation? And this, the governor told that he was the only one in the class. So you can say he has had individual tuition all the time. The governor told he got individual tuition all the time. Means he got ample opportunity, ample time, ample help for preparing himself for O-level examination. would have cost him a packet if he had been outside. And not only that, the you know you know the tuition that had been arranged, if he would take it from outside, it would have cost him a packet. Would have cost him a packet means a large sum of money. So the governor told this to the secretary, that all the tuition classes had already been arranged for him from last September, and if he would take this tuition from outside without taking help of the jail, then he would have cost a packet. Packet means he would have cost a large sum of money if he had been taken out, if he had been outside. Understand? Means the governor told this to the secretary that we had arranged all these things, so he had taken this tuition and all this. Well, let's give him a chance, shall we? Now the secretary told, okay, no problem, so let's give him a chance, shall we? Shall we give him a chance? That's jolly kind of you. What exactly is the procedure now? Actually, the governor told, and that's jolly kind of you, means you are very kind, sir. What exactly the procedure now? So what would be the procedure? Tell me the procedure, that how I would arrange all these. Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, governor told, don't worry about that. I will be sending you all the forms and stuff. What's his name, you say? Evans? Now, secretary told, don't worry about all this procedure of all these things. I will be sending you all the forms and stuffs. Stuffs means all these related documents that will be required for conducting this examination. And the secretary confirmed this to the governor, that he would send all these forms and stuffs that would be required for this examination. And he asked again, what's his name? You say Evans. And again the secretary asked this to the governor. Tell me the name. What's his name? Evans? James Roderick Evans. It sounded rather grand. And James Roderick Evans, that the governor of jail told it's James Roderick Evans. It sounded rather grand, and it sounds really grand. Though the man was mean, he was a criminal, but really. Just one thing, governor. He is not a violent sort of fellow, is he? Now, another thing that the secretary wants to know from the governor, that he is not a violent sort of fellow, is he? He wanted to know what kind of person he was, means what was his behavior. And he told, I don't feel he's a violent sort of man, because, the secretary was very much concerned that ultimately he's a criminal. So if he, attacks the invigilator, then, the liability come, to them. So, they were very much concerned about whether that man is reliable or not. I don't want you to know the criminal. I don't want to know his criminal record or anything like that. But the secretary told that I don't want to know about a criminal record, but that I want to know what kind of man he is. No, there is no record of violence. The governor told, no such record. Quite a pleasant sort of chap. They tell me means other people, the other criminals who are also confined in the jail and the prison officer. Bit of a card, really. Card means entertaining person. Entertaining person means the governor told that Evans is an entertaining person. One of the stars at the Christmas concert, and he was in the jail when Christmas Day is celebrated. He is one of the stars. Imitations, you know that sort of thing. Mike Earwood stuff. Earwood is mimicry artist. So Mike Earwood stuff. No. He is just a congenital kleptomaniac, that's all. And the governor told he is a congenital kleptomaniac. Congenital means by birth, from birth, and kleptomaniac means habit of stealing. The governor was tempted to add something else, but he thought better of it. And the governor wanted to tell more about Evans to the secretary, but he did not tell anything. He would look after that particular side of things himself. And he told, actually he thought he would look after all these things himself. Okay, so today after this it's time up. Next day again we will continue where we are leaving it today. Thank you, and wish you Merry Christmas to you, to your family members, to your friends, to everyone, and thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you.